Alright. Greetings everyone, and welcome to episode 1 of the Best Available web series. This series follows the adventures of the group known as the Best Available as they rise to prominence and explore the deadly dungeon known as Undermountain. The party's founding members are Angela, a kind-hearted fighter from Waterdeep, Bethaniel, Angela's cleric friend and ally who grew up on the docks of the same city, Natalia, a warrior woman with a dark past, and Ara, an acolyte of a mysterious goddess from a faraway land. We first meet our group in Waterdeep, a city known to many as the Crown of the North. It is from within these great walls that protect nearly 2 million souls from the ravages of the North that much of the savage frontier's finer goods are created. Be you harried traveler from the south, Uthgard barbarian tempted by curiosity, or a northern orc tired of the bandit life, all are welcome to shirk off the trappings of the harsh wilderness within the walls, if only to exchange them for the trappings of society instead. Here the streets are usually busy, quiet is something rarely experienced. Waterdeep is a deeply pragmatic city, as any northern civilization must be to survive. Its construction is built to last, its laws are mostly fair, if firm, designed to protect the weak and discourage opportunists. Today, it does not look like that cold, serious city made of stone, however. Instead, it is wreathed in flowers, fabrics, and banners galore. Waterdeep is a bride-to-be walking down the aisle to her beloved, and is just as surrounded by the quiet concerns of a world-weary family. You see, the city sits at the foot of Mount Waterdeep, shielding it from the worst of the coastal storm winds, but there are other things that the mountain hides. More than 1,200 years ago, a powerful wizard, Hallister Blackcloak, began building a hold that eventually expanded into ancient dwarven tunnels and became a vast complex all its own, a complex that would become known as Undermountain. This sprawling and labyrinthine complex developed its own life and ecosystem, and in the late 13th century, Undermountain became quite the issue for Waterdeep. You see, every few years, and the number varies enough that no one can put a point on it, the number of monstrous creatures that stalked Hallister's halls would overflow into the city like a bloody tide, causing wanton destruction with each vicious wave. It was in response to these dangerous times that the Lords of Waterdeep devised the Festival of Heroes. Before each surge in Undermountain, the Open Lord of Waterdeep presents 3 chests that correlate to 3 keys hidden within Undermountain's depths, and adventuring parties from across Faerun travel to partake in the battle against Undermountain's ever-present threat. It is a strange combination of hero worship and battlefield sorrow that overtakes the city during this time, as people both idolize those who fight the evils below, but also must grieve the loss of adventurers who fall in their quest, many of whom are never even seen again. The festivities do their best to keep the theme upbeat though, and everywhere you will find people cheering on either their favorite heroes or all of the fated souls who do battle on their behalf to keep Waterdeep safe. The beating heart of the festival is none other than the Yawning Portal itself, a famed entrance to Undermountain's depths which Durnan, a veteran delver of the Cursed Hold, built a large inn and tavern around. The Yawning Portal is a destination for travelers of all stripes through all seasons, but during the festival, only the elite participants and those who support them are allowed inside regularly, save for a few hopefuls wishing to tag along with parties short on members. The upper levels of the tap house have rooms dedicated to adventurers taking their rest, and some would say more importantly, rooms dedicated to the displaying of treasures retrieved from Undermountain, especially the magical chests themselves once they have been opened. These rooms are especially well protected with bars and wards since they are subject to the prying eyes of the public, who line up, sometimes for days, to tour the inn's halls during the festival, the closest the common folk will ever get to the bleak world beneath their feet. If the adventurers do their job, that is. It is on the lower floor, near to the lift itself, tucked into a back corner where we find our group. Convincing someone to represent them, either a wealthy patron or even a lord, is quite the challenge, especially considering their notable inexperience. Thankfully, though, fate has a way of providing a path when one seems lost, and it might just be fate itself that finds them sitting around their table as our story begins.
Well, we would definitely be looking around, eyeing people, seeing who might be approachable, who might be on the opposite end of our predicament, as in actually needing an adventure.
Do we really have to talk with the nobles?
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be a noble. It just has to be someone who is wealthy enough to donate 10,000 gold pieces or more to the festival.
Wow.
The Yawning Portal is abuzz. With the start of the competition only a fortnight away, people are regularly taking bets on whether one of the famous named groups is going to take home the massive prizes that are available, or if some new upstart group is going to show up and wow everyone. Durnan is sitting behind his bar, currently polishing one of the wooden cups as he looks about with a gleeful smile on his face. Business is particularly good for him during this festival.
Should we ask if he knows any patrons looking for people?
Sure, you can approach him and ask. So you make your way across the tavern from where you were seated and belly up to the bar. It is actually more difficult to get there than you would think. There's quite a few people stuffed into this place, and despite it being a very large and roomy tavern, you have to move with the flow of people to eventually make your way there. But make your way there you do, and Durnan gives you a smile and says, well, you definitely have the look of someone who is here to compete rather than just drink and watch. How can I help you?
All this time, Angie is just sitting there trying to hide behind a mug, because earlier this day she was excited about a chance of, hey, killing monsters, helping people. That's what I've been trying to do. And today, seeing the scale of the event, she's just kind of overwhelmed, hiding, trying to look small.
Okay, then my character would like to ask Duran if he knows anybody looking for adventurers.
Well, if you're not an already established group with a patron, I'm afraid that I don't know who might be able to help. Have you any adventures under your belt? What is the name of your group? Do you have one?
Do we?
We're a pretty fresh group, so I don't think we have a name for our group.
Yeah, no, we don't have a name.
Without having an adventure to your name or even a name to be known by, finding a patron would be particularly difficult, especially this close to the beginning of the competition. You have some time, but not a lot.
What about people who are trying to bet on the underdogs?
Well, people definitely love underdogs. I mean, it's always a long shot because everybody knows how often new meat comes back from the Undermountain. But hey, there's always the off chance. As for people who would be patrons, though, I'd be hard-pressed to say. I wish I could be more help, miss. But it seems that you're going to have quite the uphill battle ahead of you if you want to join the competition.
You said business is good, right?
Oh, business is booming. The only thing that could boom more than the business right now is a meteor swarm falling from the sky.
Instead of sitting around looking around at everybody, why don't we, formulate a plan on what we should be doing? I know we've just barely met, but elf girl or elf boy, elf creature. I forgot what the other your character was. Elf creature and hiding behind mug girl. Why don't we figure out exactly what we're doing? Because we've already lost the redhead. She's gone. I don't know where she's wandered off to. So let's figure out a battle plan here before we go and waste all of our time sitting here at bar table watching other people get rich.
Unfortunately, Natalia was a little too busy worrying about being able to make the money necessary to get into this competition. But Bethaniel and Angela notice that Natalia's shield has taken on a soft, faint blue glow, an aura that is slowly growing brighter over time.
Whoa. What's going on with your shield there?
Nani? All right, so I'm going to pull my shield off and go on the table in front of me because I don't know what's going on. I ain't into that magic stuff. Bethaniel, is that right? I'm sorry.
Bethaniel.
Bethaniel. Do you know, any insight on this? I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Bethaniel nods, the young elf still tight-lipped in a hectic environment such as this, and extends his gloved hands so he can begin the ritual to cast Detect Magic. As he focuses, eyes narrowed, the glow begins to brighten, more and more, until it can be seen from quite a distance in the Yawning Portal.
to the point where it's actually reflecting off of your armor, and you are seeing a decent blue shine. Several of the patrons have taken notice of this, although after a few moments of it not exploding, they stop paying attention and go back to their drinks. A particularly stocky-looking dragonborn grunts, show off, and orders himself another round. So, all three of you are heads on swivel at this moment. And so all three of you spot the man who is coming toward your table. He melds through the crowd almost magically. In fact, almost is probably not the word for it, because a few of the people, you see him phase through them as he walks toward you.
Whoa.
He is wearing a white and gold-rimmed robe and has crisp, angular features. Almost elven, but his ears are rounded. His hood is fairly open, and he has a well-trimmed goatee and carries a staff that looks like it is made of some kind of shining metal, the top of which is a draconic figurine. It seems to have been formed of a single piece. No signs of it having been forged together. He strides up to your table and says, exactly who I was looking for.
Greetings, good sir. How might we be of help?
Greetings. I do apologize for the rather strange way of tracking you down. My name is Zacharias Rowe, and he puts a hand across his belly and bows slightly.
Angie will get up and bow a little bit and introduce herself.
Ah, well, pleasure to meet you, Zacharias. And Natalia. This is Ara. I gesture towards the redhead. This is Lithanel, currently meditating to detect magic on the shield. I presume you had something to do with that. Of course, because you already introduced yourself.
Yes, my apologies. It's, he raises his hand and twists it in an arcane gesture, and the aura around your shield vanishes as quickly as it had appeared.
Okay, so that solves that mystery.
Yes, it is a new spell, and I didn't know exactly where it would lead me to. Divination is so often strange and ephemeral in its rules. My apologies if I startled your companion. He nods to Bethaniel.
And at this point, we'll probably be poking at Bethaniel. Hey, it's explained already. Don't worry about it.
What?
Might as well greet the new guest.
Oh God.
He has social anxiety. Please don't worry about it, sir.
No worries. We all have our quirks, don't we? Adventurers, we tend to be the odd ducks. So, would you, mind some company?
Not at all.
I have a proposition for your group. He nods to one of the serving boys who brings over a chair for the table and gives him a order for a drink. So my spell was supposed to lead me to a group of adventurers that were intending to delve into Undermountain. I have a task that I would like you to partake in while you are down there.
All right. Well, that was indeed our intention. However, we're lacking in a patron.
Oh, you're not a established group? You're not already on the ledger?
Unfortunately not.
We were working on it.
It's my first year.
Ah.
I've never done this before.
Oh, so you're a brand new adventuring group. Is that true for all of you? And none of you are veterans?
I've done a little bit of this sort of work. However, this is my first time participating in this event.
Well, at least one of you knows their way around the adventuring lifestyle then. Well, if you don't have a patron, that would definitely prove a challenge. Well, I can't help but think that it might be fate that my spell led me to you rather than to some established group. There must be something special about you all.
What do you need us for?
I have a task inside of Undermountain. There is a object, but we can worry about the details of that task later. After all, without a patron, you're not going to be able to go at all.
Right, but I mean, no disrespect to you, sir. Obviously, you picked us for a reason. However, I've learned in my time you never agree to anything without knowing the details of what you're agreeing to.
No, of course not. I see you have someone who is quite proficient in fast speech. That will probably serve you very well should you ever deal with the Zentarim or a Wizard of Thay. But I think you misunderstand my intentions. I do not require that you promise to do some task for me should I help you. Just that you hear me out and consider whether or not it would be in the best interests of all in the realm for it to be done.
Right.
So, let us start at the very beginning, my friend. I am Zacharias. You, Bethaniel, Ara, Angela, Natalia, are adventurers. And this is where we shall begin. Our first step on the journey to get you into Undermountain. I believe the best way to ensure that my patronage is accepted, because telling them that I want you to go in is not necessarily going to go over well with the council if there are no adventures to speak of in your background. What we can do is I can send you out to some lesser tasks outside of the city, some things that need seeing to, and if you are capable of completing those, then I would be more than happy to hand my suggestion over to the council. If you're incapable, then obviously it would be a terrible thing to send you into such a dangerous dungeon in the first place.
All right. I do believe we are up to the task.
There are a few things that I think you could definitely help with. Lesser tasks, to be sure, but try not to feel disappointed that you're not immediately hurling dragons down into crevasses and blasting airships from the sky. There are a few tasks, and he reaches down and pulls out a leather satchel. As he flips the satchel open, it fills before your eyes with several sheafs of paper, and he pulls out and thumbs through a few of them. There's a report of bugbears assailing the food shipments from Golden Field. That is something that always happens around this time of year. Goblins. You know, I think I have just the thing. So, recently I was speaking to a friend of mine in the Waterdeep Observatory. He is a, what do you call it? Astrology? No, not astrology, astronomy. The other thing, the one where you actually look at the stars and don't just make things up about them. He had seen a meteorite fall from the sky and believes that it fell nearby. Star metal is very well sought after, and though this was a few days past, I would like to know if there is any available there. Often people will immediately send out miners or merchants in order to ascertain whether or not it's worth anything, so someone may have already gotten to it. But if they haven't, then you could acquire it for yourselves. If they have, then you could at the very least observe what it is that they have acquired, and then come back to let me know what fell from the skies.
Well, that sounds easy enough. However, we would need to know exactly where it came down.
Of course. So I will tell you what. Why don't you go ahead and make your preparations to leave the city? I will speak to this astronomer fellow, and I will give to you this. And he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a satchel that is far larger than his pocket and hands it to you.
All right.
This is a messenger bag. Don't worry if you lose it. It will find its way back to me through magical means. It is through this that I can actually send letters to you, and you can send messages back to me. It only functions once per day, and it will send any written contents to the bag at the other end. Obviously, my bag is the home bag, as it were.
So it can transfer written text,
Yes.
basically. No items?
No. Unfortunately,
I
it
see.
is only going to transfer things written on paper. In fact, it doesn't actually transport the paper itself. Rather, I will have blank sheafs of paper inside of my bag, and the letter in your bag will disintegrate completely, and the words that you wrote upon it will...
What?
It's a very complex
Some
process.
sort of magical mail system, sort of like an M-mail.
Natalia, I don't know what you know of the arcane ways, but it's not quite a M-mail.
Yeah.
If we are going to go about truly quantifying what it would be known as. It would be more of an evoker's mail system, because evocation would be the school. So it would be email.
I see.
Go ahead and make your preparations. If you need to get any rations, it should only be maybe 6 to 10 hours outside of the city, and the day is young, so you might be able to reach it by nightfall. And I will go and speak with my astronomer friend, and I will email you the information.
Alright, sounds like a plan.
And that is where we will leave our band of adventurers as they set out on their first adventure together. Hopefully, the first of many. Being from the future, I can tell you that there are quite a few more coming. They do not even yet know that their group is called the Best Available, and there are many battles to be fought before they earn their place in the competition. But every party of legend has to start somewhere, and this one started right here. I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and if you did, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, gift us with a like, and if you are feeling particularly generous, you can always leave a comment down below. Perhaps Algorithm Sama will be generous to us in return. Our whole team loves to read the comments section. Sometimes that is a mistake, but almost everyone has been extremely supportive to us, and the community that has grown from us making these videos is a beautiful group of souls that we cherish our time with. Speaking of support and community, if you really want to join in on the fun, you can support us on either Buy Me a Coffee or Patreon by clicking the links over here or down in the description below. Any amount helps our struggling band get one step closer to doing this full time for you, and even better, supporting us at any level gets you into the community Discord and a number of unique rewards. You will get your name in the credits, read out by yours truly, and you can reach even higher and get sneak peeks of our Forever DM magic items, also races, classes, specialties, etc., but that takes too long to say. Artwork for the coming episodes, and even view the episodes up to a week before they are available to the public. Going back to the community Discord, being on there isn't just another Discord server to add to your already probably very long list. Right now there are 12 active games, some of which are even still recruiting. There is a text roleplay section if that's your thing, random chatter, art and creative writing channels. We even have a whole channel dedicated just to Doodle Poodle's amazing comic, Tales from the Tables, where you can see that as soon as it's available. I could go on because there's even more, but I won't. But I could, but I won't. Instead, having talked your ear off for far too long already, I will harken back to the people who made this possible and roll credits. In the power tier, we have David, Doodle Poodle, Jay Jones, John the Wicked, and William Smith. In the planar tier, we have All Is Fiction, CJ, Darth Cavalier, Gordon Danke, Ice Dragon, Joshua Williams again, PP&TT 807, and Sparkle Lord the Fabulous. In the Adventurer tier, we have Bastion Falconwrath, Dragon Tempest, Ice Commander, John R300, Justin, Katie, Mystics, the Rosilla Streaming Network, Shadow Menser, and Sneaky GI. In the Quest Giver tier, we have Enon44, Bird or the Cage, Emanon, Kate, Kyla, Night Archer, Robert Mischief, Rio 1990, Sephiroth Kurosame, Slathar Silcom, and V. In the Townsfolk tier, we have Adrian, Biz Adrian, Doodle Poodle, Ginseng 3, Jaden Hill, Matus, Okada, Scott Stedman, Sergeant Humpty, Shugenja, Spirit Radio, and Tom Brazo. And a special mention to our first ever supporter and our longest running supporter, Scion of Magnus and Sammy Wolf. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Good night, all.
Now, we love our FDM, but sometimes he forgets things. Things like reading the names of our creative team, who use their blood, sweat, and tears to make this something worth watching. Doodle Poodle and Nala Fontaine are illustrating every mouth-watering image you've seen this episode. Shadow Wolf and Scorpius187 are helping out with things that aren't related to video production. I'm MC Cheshire, the editor and producer. My friend Thriving Inferno helps because I asked him to. The Forever DM does mostly everything else. Don't mind the fact that I am Dave Homestuck Strider. I'm just piloting him as a way to express my existence upon the reality around me because I don't have character art yet. This is the second time he's forgot, by the way.